Good evening. What's up, geeks? How are you all doing? We actually got things working finally. So, hello and welcome to the New Age Geeks channel. If you're new here, we believe in an inclusive space for people of all walks of life through the power of friendship, magic, and tabletop role-playing games. Tonight we have Forging Fates, a sober D&D campaign set in the critical world of Exandria, following our adventuring party, the Fists of Fate. What's up, Fists?
What's
Hi.
Getting there. It is our first game of the new year, so we are coming back to you. Minus one player. Jem is still on vacation. I'm still on vacation, but I'm coming to you live from this improvised office. So we apologize for any technical difficulties we may have had thus far or have in the future tonight. That being said, Cece.
Just a quick friendly reminder to everybody here that the New Age Geeks is more than just us up here on the screen. It relies on all of you wonderful geeks and your participation in the community that we are building together. If you want to become one of the New Age Geeks, surprise, you can. All you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels and join our Discord. And there you will find moderated chats, emotes by one of our favorite geeks, Sarah.
Sarah!
We love you. And chat rooms with the cast and other members of this growing community. Please do remember the best way to help us out is with engagement. Are you... Adam, what the hell?
Son of a bitch.
Free joke. That's not a joke.
The best way to help us out is with engagement. So please remember to watch the video all the way through, like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so these communities know to share us with everybody else. Beyond that, we have posts going up on Twitter, on Instagram, and TikTok, so if you are on those platforms, make sure to follow us for more geeky goodness.
If you like pina colada... No, that's the wrong one. Hang on. If you like to talk to... No, that's the wrong one, too. If you are already paying for Amazon Prime, here we go. You get Twitch Prime absolutely free, and that scores you a free 1-month subscription to the channel of your choosing. Every month you will need to go in and resubscribe to that channel for a new one, but it is a small price to pay to not have to pay a price at all. So use that on us, just like Adam did. If you find yourself in a charitable mood, you may subscribe on Twitch and YouTube, gift subscriptions to others, cheer using bits, donate via PayPal. We have a merch shop with dozens of choices for you to buy things for yourself and your loved ones, and we even have a Patreon for you to subscribe to. Lastly, if you wish to become a sponsor, reach out to us directly via our Instagram page to begin those discussions.
Okay. So
Tell me about SonCraft.
Yeah, tell us about the music.
If you enjoy the music we have going on here on Forging Fates, we highly recommend checking out the SonCraft bot. SonCraft bot allows you to play open source, community selected music and soundscapes directly from your Discord server with just a few clicks. Whether you're playing with friends or streaming on Twitch, you can use the audio stress-free. With their pro level subscription, you get their playlist builder, shareable playlist codes, access to 40 plus music genres, and 20 plus soundscape types.
That's a lot.
There you go.
Global genre selections, and 2 premium Discord servers, all for just $10 a month. But by using our referral link, NAG, that's NAG, you get $2 off your subscription for the first 3 months. All you need to do to get started is invite the SonCraft bot of your choosing to your server, then just hit play and let SonCraft take care of the rest.
All right. Stuff. Not a lot of work or cost. I like it.
All right. That being said, unless anyone has anything, let's dive into tonight's episode of Forging Fates.
And we're back.
It's only a few seconds long.
Alrighty. So, picking up where we last left off, the Fists of Fate, having made their way through the Dawn Mist Pines, gathering together with the Circle Wardens.
Dawn Warden?
Dawn Warden, yep, Dawn Warden. That's what I said. We haven't played in a while, guys. I'm catching back up. Meeting up with
machine is squeaky.
Yep. Meeting up with the Dawn Warden Circle, the Fist of Fate eventually having a vision with Alondra. Yep,
Sure.
Alondra. And they saw the corruption that had been coming from a rip in the in the material plane from the elemental plane of Earth, deep within the Dawn Mist Pines. They saw the corrupted warden Gathok suspended between two trees and infected with the same vine-like coverings that they had seen throughout the forest up to this point. Eventually, they began to make their way after an attack on the grove that they had been staying at, began to make their way towards this rift that they had been given directions to thanks to Alondra. They made their way there, climbing some of the uprooted trees and jutting out stone, overlooked this rift, which was inhabited by Trents, these vine-like creatures. Earth elementals began to appear as the battle began to ensue, as Gathok began to cast spells from his position between the trees. Eventually, thanks to the help of some of the other druids from the Dawn Wardens, the team was able to begin to close this rift, defeating a lot of the creatures that were there, eventually culminating with the striking down of Gathok, thanks to a few well-placed arrows of Clover's.
Oh, yeah.
With one of the Trents still under Finnick's control, this is where we're going to pick up, as Gathok has fallen, holding you, Gormrog, before falling to the ground. That is where we're going to pick up. So, any questions, comments, concerns before we get into it?
One question.
I have a lot of concerns.
Is this Trent, do I get the sense that it will be hostile after the... Hold up. I have to pull up this thing. After the charm wears off?
You don't know.
I do not know?
Nope.
Well, I will just swing at it to finish it off.
Okay.
So... a 18 to hit?
That'll hit.
Okay. Oh shit, I have to grab more dice. I forgot how buff this blade was. So 11 slashing, and then there we go.
There we go.
And then 33 points of radiant damage.
As the blade slams into the creature, you see the bark begin to bubble and burn and blacken as the blade hits into its side. The charm you do feel wear off in this moment, but it is still alive. Number one. Also, the vines that had kind of like the vines that look very familiar to the ones that surround the landscape around its body, you see those beginning to blacken and die as well.
I just want to try and finish this SOB off. Just so we don't
might not be hostile. Like, he... Go ahead.
Well, it'll definitely be hostile after this charm wears off, so...
Now it will.
Now it will, yeah.
As you say that, as you slam the blade into him and the charm wears off, you see him kind of fall down to one knee. and his hands kind of rise up in front of him. Do you speak? Who speaks everything? Do you speak Elvish?
Me? No.
In Elvish, you hear him raise his hands and mutter 2 words. You're not quite sure what they mean.
Whisper speaks Elvish, right?
I speak Elvish.
Guys, what is he saying?
As you ask that, Tristan, you hear the Trent say, "Please stop."
All right, so as soon as he says that, I'm not like trying to be super like, oh, hurry up. I'm saying, he's begging for his life.
Oh my god. I'll put the sword away. And I don't know if you can understand me, but I'm sorry.
He doesn't know. I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna say in Elvish to him if it looks like he doesn't know what she's saying.
Tristan,
As you,
my translator.
Finnick, as you say that, he kind of lowers his hands down to like support himself on the ground, looking very damaged, but with all the attacks he's kind of sustained at this point. I apologize myself. I was not myself for a time. I'm sorry if I caused you any harm.
Assuming that Tristan translates.
That he said in common.
Oh, he did? Okay. Again, I apologize. I guess I don't understand the entirety of the situation. It seems like a bunch of people were infected.
While they're talking, I'm going to be spending a couple actions to heal myself.
Okay.
Because I'm down to 6 hit points, and that's not great. So when she swung at the thing, I'm just going to use an action to do wholeness of body and regain 18 hit points.
Okay.
And then go ahead.
As you begin to heal yourself, you see the corpse in front of you begin to twitch. You watch as those vines that penetrated through its body begin to push out deep within and press the body up to suspend it once more into the air in front of you.
Hey, guys, we're not done yet.
Oh god.
Can I shoot it one more time right through its chest?
Go ahead and roll attack.
$22.
Okay. Roll damage.
Right? I was standing still when I did that. You know, Daddy Eddie and all that shit. 29.
You see the arrow rip a hole straight through the chest of this now corpse. And you kind of just, the body slumps over and you see the arm begin to pull against the flesh as things are deteriorating in this space. You see the eyes glow green as its head kind of, you see it unnaturally begin to get supported as the neck thickens as vines fill in to where the muscles were and bulge against the sides, and you see it adjust the head upwards into a vertical position. Its mouth opens. You see the Gorog being close enough. You see thin vines inside of its mouth that kind of begin to poke out from the opening of the mouth, just ever so slightly, reaching forward, vibrating almost in the air as air hits against it.
Yep.
I'm gonna look at the treants and be like, what can you tell me about this thing infecting people?
Why not always? This is unlike anything I've seen before.
I'm gonna go up to the thing and attack it from. I'm gonna look to see if there's any roots laying in like again. I'm gonna go from the behind if I can. I'm not sure how that works right now.
Oh, from the
Wait,
corpse.
wait. The way these things are moving in its mouth, is it trying to talk?
Roll an insight check.
Guidance.
I'm getting Independence Day vibes.
Guidance if I'm close enough.
Yeah, that's fine.
Insight. I'm gonna need that guidance. 18.
It does seem like it's trying to talk to you.
All right. To the vines, I guess. In common, and then goblin, and then orc, and then primordial. I will repeat the same phrase, and I will say, what are you trying to say?
As you go through each of the languages, it kind of just sits there blankly, and then when you hit primordial, you see the vines begin to solidify around the mouth almost. You see them both pierce up through the skin into the eye sockets, and you see the eyes begin to pry open as little vines rip the eyelids and pull them up.
Gross.
Hot.
Gross. No. Mm-mm. Don't like it.
One. You. Why do you fight against us?
Why do we who live here fight against you who came through a rift and started killing people? That a real question?
We hold the natural order of things.
You can hold these nuts.
We could give you power.
I'm good. We don't need that. We don't want that. We didn't ask for that.
Kind of begins to raise up an arm. And you see kind of approaching your chest height.
Just
movements jerky and twitching.
patient defense.
But they do. And his hand turns towards Whisper.
I'm
And you see
going
this
to...
bright flash in their eyes. And you see Whisper eyes roll back in her head. She buckles down to her knees and face plants against the floor.
Whisper?
I immediately run over.
The same as I was going, where I'm assuming I'm right next to where Dom was. He stopped me real fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Or,
no, you can
Gormrod
get
was.
him now.
Yeah, and I'm going to go straight attack, but I'm going to look specifically, like to try to attack from behind to see if the vines are coming out of the ground, if there's a localized connection.
They
or
came
not.
from into him, and they are now piercing back into the ground and spreading out around him.
He's planting his roots.
Are you gonna?
I'm gonna swing and just try to sever this dead body in half. But yeah.
Roll attack. At advantage because he's not moving.
I'm immediately checking Whisper for like a pulse or if she's
Oh
breathing.
no, I dropped it.
Roll a medicine
She
check.
has the sword.
shit.
She's
9.
doesn't have a pulse, or if it's there, it's barely there.
Then I will use.
And the breathing thing, same thing.
17.
Roll damage. What'd you get for your medicine check, Clinic?
I didn't roll a medicine check, but I will use a spell slot to cast protection from good and evil on Whisper.
9.
But if I roll a medicine check, that's not good at all. That is a 5 for medicine. But
There is no pulse, and Whisper does not appear to be breathing.
Yeah, I forgot she had the sword though. But I still
No,
cast protection from good and evil on her. Yeah, evil and good.
Okay. Tristan, as you slam the sword, it pierces right across the arm and digs down and deep into his chest. And as the blade pulls away, you see the vines reach back from the stump, reach down into the arm that's on the floor, and begin to pull it back up. And it stops about halfway. So now there's just these long vines connecting the two appendages. But he just kind of stands there, and as his roots begin to spread out around his base.
As Tristan does that, I'd like to run up to the same side. I'd like to swing my sword across all of the vines between the body and the ground, attempting to sever them completely.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack.
$23.
Okay, roll damage.
That's just a regular fucking roll. Hold on a second.
And I don't want you. And I don't need you. Oh.
Oh no, Tristan's next to him, so I have sneak attack.
Yeah, you do.
21.
You swipe across the bottom, severing the roots that are protruding from his body, and you see it begin to drop down for a moment before roots shoot from his back, pinning him up, and raising him back into a vertical position. As the roots begin to try and reconnect with each other once more.
Finnick, do you have Dispel Magic?
No. I have fire. I don't. Would that work?
Maybe.
Okay, firebolt.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
I like to hop back at this moment.
Yeah. Okay, that is a 23 to hit.
Roll damage and double it.
Hell yeah. Vulnerability to fire. Okay. 12 points of. So 12 doubled to 24.
As the fire slams into him, his whole body begins to erupt into flames as the fire quickly spreads across his chest, and you see him and the vines in his mouth begin to grow out and vibrate, trying to escape the flames. His whole body vibrating away from the heat, trying to pull itself apart. You see the arm that was severed begin to lower back down to the ground. You see the fingers begin to twitch and move as it tries to grasp against the ground and pull itself away.
I'm basically gonna try and just whip more fire at it if I can.
Okay. Anyone else want to contribute?
Clearly is a magic thing. I don't have any. All my attacks are physical.
Well, my attacks are physical, but they count as magical. So yeah, I'm gonna fuck them up. And I'm gonna burn a key point and hit him 4 times with my fists.
Okay, but none of it's fire, correct?
None of it's fire, but it counts as magical to overcome resistance.
Okay. What do you got? Clover.
With prestidigitation, it allows you to light. It says in the description, like, it gives a few different examples. Would I be able to light an arrow?
Yeah, I would say so.
Then I'm going to light an arrow and then very quickly try to shoot that at him.
Okay. So, with that, as you all begin to gather together, finding out what this creature's weakness is in this moment, you begin to batter and bash, driving the bits that try to escape out back into this flame as Finnick focuses her fire in this point, torching this creature as it begins to try and rip itself apart to spread anywhere it can. But thanks to the collective efforts of everyone, you're able to kind of keep it contained in this moment as you burn away the last remnants of this infection that seems to have taken root in the forest.
Tristan's gonna run straight to Whisper.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand over the body and just wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a readied firebolt in my hand, standing next to Gormrog. Just making sure this thing doesn't get back up.
Okay. Tristan, what are you trying to do with Whisper right now?
I know because I wasn't close enough before. I saw her hit the floor, and then I saw them do. I'm just gonna pick her head up and just assess, just check. What do I see? What do I
roll a medicine check. The rest of you, as you stand over the now charred remains of this creature,
So there it is.
You see it ash and burn pretty quickly as the embers burn down into almost nothing. Eventually, a strong wind begins to come and push away the ash, leaving whatever very small bits remain. None of it seems to be alive or viable in this moment.
Hmm.
Okay.
Is there anything left of Gathok?
Roll investigation check for me.
I rolled a 17.
Okay.
Investigation would be a +1, so that's a dirty 20.
You see a small shard of the stone that you saw when you entered into the circle of the Dawn Wardens. Those pillars of stone that surrounded the entire camp. You find a small shard, kind of tucked in where you assume one of his body parts were. Tristan, as you gather up Whisper and you kind of examine her body for a moment, you do eventually feel a heartbeat. It is very slow, and as is her breathing. But as you kind of open up her eyes to examine, they are rolled back into her head, and you are unable to actually see her pupils.
Okay.
I'm gonna tear off.
I'd like to run over to Whisper as well.
Sure. Actually, with a 17, Tristan, you do notice on your examination of her body, the tips of her fingers on her right hand are blackened, and it looks like necrosis almost, and it's spread up just barely to the first knuckle on her fingers.
I'm gonna relay that. I'm gonna. Guys, this is not right. She's alive. She's breathing, but I can't see her eyes. Her fingers are turning black. I don't have the kind of. Does anybody have anything?
Gormrog, can we have those nuts?
So what?
Because Whisper wants to food.
I will pull out some packaged food that I still have and just toss it to you, but I will also toss you the staff of Melora that we got from
I'm assuming you mean the wand of healing.
Yeah.
Staff and wand, massively different thing.
Listen,
gonna like to wave right over her.
I got a stick. It's gonna help. Use it.
Well, first I'm just gonna wave the food right over her nose.
Okay.
The scent into her.
Like
Smell this
salt.
sack of nuts and see if it wakes her up.
There's no reaction to the food.
Damn it. It's really bad, guys.
That is really bad.
Oh god.
I'm gonna pick up the stone shard, just with a cloth, just wrap it around it, tie it up, put it in the bag.
Can I
Okay.
use my lay on hands to try and offer some healing?
We're not using the wand.
So that's a whisper.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just use
How many hit points are
5
coming into it?
to start.
Okay. So you push the 5 hit points into it. Her body isn't changed because she hadn't taken any damage in the actual fight. But there is also no change to her in this moment.
Can I try and tell if this is some like magical effect or if like he attempted to infect her or something? Would it be
Roll an Arcana check.
Arcana? Pull my shit up. And I will cast guidance on myself. Okay, so 14.
You don't sense anything in this moment as far as arcane magic spells or anything like that. But there's also nothing medically wrong with her as far as you can tell. So you're not sure.
We have to carry her back somewhere safe.
If we bring her back to the village, do you think they could help?
I mean, maybe they're druids. She's a druid. I mean, maybe they'll know something that we don't.
And Tristan's gonna scoop her up and just start going in that direction while they're saying that.
I'd like to take one last look around and do a quick eye scan investigation to see if we missed anything before following.
Roll a quick perception check for me then.
Can I help her with that?
Sure.
$16 plus.
23.
23.
Okay. As you look around, a lot of the remains, there's plenty of remains to go over as far as like the animals that have been corrupted into the vine-like creatures. There's the remains of the earth elemental that had come forth. As far as anything from Gathok, there's nothing left besides the stone that Gormrog picked up. And there is obviously no gold or anything that you would see of particular value.
Mm-hmm. What about
have no use for it.
What about our comrades who fought with us? Are they still around?
Yeah, they're all still up, and Bramble is up, but looking pretty rough. And he is quick to join your side as you begin to gather yourself.
I'm gonna do a healing word on Bramble.
Oh, I do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
That does 11 points of healing.
Okay.
I'm gonna activate my dragon hide belt and regain some key points.
Okay.
Because that attack to take the guy out was my last key point. I get back 5 key points.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did Whisper get up?
No.
Oh.
No, you're still carrying her.
Okay.
And then I'll ask if the Treant wants to join us back on our journey back to the village.
If that is what you would, if that will help me atone for this unfortunate incident, then I am happy to do that.
Is he in
it's not
common?
Your fault.
Yes, it's uncommon.
You're infected. You didn't know what you were doing. I'm sorry.
It kind of scans around. That may be true, but many have fallen because of that.
And we all need to heal. We all need to rebuild. That includes you. Come back to the village with us.
He kind of rises up to his feet. Very well. Kind of reaches out a hand for you to hop on if you would like for him to carry you.
I will absolutely take his hand, and I will use the rest of my lay on hands. Actually, I'll use what's it called? Healing hands. So I'll give him 7 hit points back. And
Try to understand the healing hand.
I'd like to march forward a bit and lead the way about 5 feet ahead of Tristan, and ready have my hand on my sword just in case anything pops out.
So you spend the better part of an hour at this point traveling back to the village, or rather the circle. Relatively unaccosted as you see the vines in the trees kind of rotting and burning away almost as they begin to like turn into dust and ash along the forest. The air kind of does get a little thick with it as you are running. Eventually, you do all have to kind of cover your mouths to proceed, so you don't want to let this stuff get in your lungs. But
I'm gonna pull a scarf out from my backpack and I'm gonna lay it like gently over Whisper's face.
okay. But as you make your way through the forest and arrive back at the Dawnwooden Circle, you see them bring the villagers or the druids that had made their way out because of the night attack. They are, at least some of them have regathered at this point, are casting stone shape and kind of the stones that have been thrown in by the large creature that had attacked you. They are slowly chopping it up, transporting it, building some structures, rebuilding some structures with it. You see Alondra there towards towards her kind of like hut yurt thing. Still relatively exhausted. She is seated outside of it, but she is doing her best in this moment to kind of like fill jugs with water and do her best to give provisions to everyone as they begin to rebuild. As you all enter into the village, her attention kind of turns towards you, and you see Thorn begin to make his way over towards you as well. He kind of looks up towards the giant Trent that has entered into the circle with you. Seeing Whisper being carried by you, Tristan, he kind of attention turns there, being the most pressing matter. What's happened?
She needs help.
Gethok's dead. That one's with us. She needs help.
Bring her.
Oh, and the rift is sealed. But that doesn't matter right now.
Sealed the rift.
He leads you over towards Alondra's hut once more, and as she sees you approaching, holding Whisper, she kind of rises up to her feet, a cane being close by, she grabs now, and while she hadn't used it in the past, you see in this exhausted state of hers, it does seem that she has to have a little more support. She pulls it close. What has happened? Has she been attacked?
She's
we don't know.
She was attacked. There was something that what we were fighting just pointed at her, and she just dropped to the ground. Her fingers are turning black. I cannot see her eyes. Someone needs to help her right now. Please, please.
A creature made of vines that was connecting to the ground, specifically, who had previously been dead, pointed at her, and then she collapsed.
And also mentioned something about offering power and then pointed at her.
Bring her inside. Lay her down.
I gently put her down with her head last, easy, on the softest space I could find.
As you lay her down, Tristan, you see Alondra closely behind you, kneeling down at Whisper's side. She begins to raise her hands and kind of run them across her body. You can tell, obviously, she's casting some sort of magic to try and gather some sense of what's going on. She grasps onto her hands and examines the fingertips that you point out to her. You see her lift the eyelids and examine in there as well. After probably about 5 to 10 minutes, eventually she rocks back on her and sits on her heels. There's nothing we can do for her in this moment. She is fighting against the blade, and it is, if she's strong enough now.
What do we do?
There's nothing you can do in this moment. It's on Whisper now to prove that she can wield that blade, if that is what she chooses.
And if she doesn't?
It'll hollow her out. Your friend will be gone. And it'll just be the blade.
No, Whisper would never let the blade win.
No.
Well then, pray to whatever gods you believe in that she is strong enough.
I believe in Whisper, so.
Well, then pray to your friend that they will find the strength to make their way through this. All we can do in this time is make her comfortable. We'll watch over her. You all should get some rest as best you can.
But you said there's nothing we can do to help her?
No, this is on her now.
I will stay with her wherever until she wins. I'm not leaving her side.
Do you mind if we stay here until our friend gets up?
If that is what you decide, though, I fear there are other things that you could be accomplishing in your time.
Like what?
Well, what happened with Gathok?
He's dead.
I'll pull out the shard of the stone.
He reaches a hand out towards it.
This was inside him, along with the vines. I don't know if you want to touch it directly, but I think it's one of your rocks from around the village. I'm gonna let him take it.
She reaches out and kind of pulls it from the cloth wrapping you have it in. Thorn. She holds the stone out towards him. Return this to the pillar. Yes. Dawn Warden grabs it and exits to the yurt. I fear that may have just been a conduit, not something that brought this calamity upon us.
At the end, the the vines retook over his dead body.
Used to
And spoke to us.
What did it say?
It offered power. It offered the natural order. It questioned why we attacked it, as if it was a dumb thing to do. Like, why in God's name would you do that when you could just be on my side? Like, I don't know. It didn't make sense to me. But, no, that offer of power, it just assumed that's what we wanted. And then it did this to her, and, well, we didn't let it say anything else.
I think maybe we have a talk about what it is you know about the primordials and what exactly their goals and intentions and plans were.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Where do you keep your teapot? I'll go put some water on.
Just let's grab Thorn on the outside. He'll show you where everything is.
And I'm gonna go start preparing us all some food, because that's all I know how to do when I'm stressed and taking care of my friends.
And I think that's where we're gonna call our break. Before we dive into this lore drop.
Lore drop.
Dun dun dun!
All right, so we'll be right back, everyone. Fast break, but we had a long time getting back into it, so sorry about that. See you guys in a couple minutes. And we're back. Okay. So, diving back into it, Gornrug, make your way out, meet up with Thorn, and begin to gather all the things that you want to for whatever sort of things you'd like to grab. Just go ahead and list off them now.
Right before everyone walks out, when we all stand up, I'm gonna grab one of my scales that I've been saving from the ones that I take, the cleanest one I can find, and I'm going to place it into the palm of her left hand and put her fingers at the fingertips around it and just place it down on her, I guess, the middle of her chest, or right in between, and her stomach and her chest, and then walk away.
I wish with all my heart to fly with Tristan in a land apart.
And I'm going to take my nice headscarf that it's pretty large. It covers my whole thing and then wraps around. I'm going to take my headscarf that Tristan bought for me, and I'm going to lay it over Whisper like a little blanket and tuck her in. It doesn't cover her completely, but it covers like most of her torso and the waist and all that jazz. You know, it's easier imagining.
I'm gonna pull out of the yurt, or whatever you've been calling it, the hut, the place, yurt, and I'm gonna gather some berries, some pomegranates, some hibiscus teas, make a little berry blend tea, and I'm gonna get whatever surplus they have, fruits, vegetables, probably some tubers mostly. I imagine carrots, potatoes,
pine needle teas.
But I mean, like for like food, like carrots, potatoes, things like that, and I'm gonna look at Thorn, and I'm gonna say, I don't remember. Forgive me. How do you all feel about eating meat?
It's a natural part of the circle of life.
And do you have any you can spare, or should we go hunting?
I believe we still have some left over from the hunting trip yesterday.
Okay. Then let's get some of that, and we'll prepare a side dish with meat. Maybe some rosemary salted steaks, and whatever sauces we can.
This will all be good for helping to bring the members of the circle back together. This was a traumatic few months, and thanks to you all, it seems that it is finally at an end. So I thank you all.
To be honest, I'm a librarian, but food is kind of the unifying factor of all living things that I've found. So when I have a family, whether it was the ones I was roaming the wilds with, the ones I found in the city, or these wonderful individuals that I'm now with, food is how I tell them I love them. Food is the only way I can take care of them, because it was a few times in that fight that I thought I was going to die.
As you say that, he kind of reaches a hand out and grasps onto your shoulder. Well, it's good to have you as someone. I'm sure they're happy to have you as a member of their family. And I'm glad you didn't die.
Yeah, me too. That would have been awful, but, an adventure nonetheless. I'm sure the Raven Queen is quite lovely, and that'd be another realm to traverse and be nomadic among. But for right now, let's bring some comfort to those around us. What do treants eat?
Oil. I think they just kind of absorb it from the ground.
We should probably go and ask him.
Very well.
So I'm expositioning the rest of this. Gonna go make sure that everyone from the squirrels to the tree ant to our people are all fed, including Balandra. Just whatever I can prepare, bring them, make them. I'm gonna make sure everybody in the Druid village is fed.
Okay. Takes you the better part of a few hours, I would say. But eventually you are able to gather up enough, between you and Thorn, gather up enough of the required materials, set up the cooking space, and begin to publicly prepare a semi-feast for the evening. As Thorn assists you setting up the food, you notice that several other druids begin to assemble a bonfire towards the center of this, between all of the stone pillars in this grove. And while that's all being set up, what are the rest of you doing?
Tristan is sitting. I'm watching. Depending on what you were going to say next, he's sitting outside, not like right next to where Whisper is, but he's staying within the building vicinity. It just walking around and just looking, thinking, waiting to see what's happening next.
Okay.
I went back to our cart and I took a little nap.
I will be sitting and I don't know, just talking the tree end.
Okay, about what?
I feel bad for attacking him. Or her, they, them. I feel bad for attacking them. And I want to make sure they're okay.
I appreciate your concern. It's okay. I'm really sorry that I attacked you to begin with. It's so unlike me. I'm just really sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you,
Buddy.
and I hope that you can forgive me.
He kind of reaches a hand out, but then notices that his hand is way too big to shake hands with you, so he kind of just extends a finger out towards you. Can we be friends?
Absolutely. I shake his finger. I'm Finnick.
Our names, I don't have a common name because we just kind of have our treant name, so it's, you hear his, all the branches on his head kind of rattle as if caught in the wind. But I don't think you can say that. Just call me, I don't know, Anthony or something. Whatever's fine.
Anthony. How do you feel about Tony for short?
That's whatever works for you, Finnick. If that's easier, it works for me.
Well, I'm excited to be your friend.
I'm really excited to be your friend too. I'm glad you didn't kill me. Because I was really close there for a second.
Yeah. And after our conversation sort of winds down, I'm gonna go sort of see if anybody needs tending to in the village. Granted, I know they've had a little bit of time, but I still want to help out where I can.
Okay. As you make your way around, you do notice a few people that have a sprained ankle, or a lot of the minor injuries. All the major injuries seem to be taken care of, but a few of the minor ones seem to have been at least put off to the next day when some of the more caster-focused druids are able to have the extra spell slots to go ahead and cure up those smaller wounds. So you go ahead and, best you can, begin to, do whatever you can to help. Anything else you'd like to do in this time?
I don't think so.
Okay. That being said, as the sun begins to set, it kind of casts this long shadow across the grove. And with that, you see a few of the druids begin to light the bonfire in the center, and as it grows, the flames growing up and licking off the top. You see the shadows begin to dance against the the trees that kind of encircle this camp. You see them, the flames dance against the branches and dance between them and into the shadows of all the forest that surrounds. As food has begun to be passed out, you see everyone beginning to gather up the various accoutrements and meals that Gormrog and Thorn have set out for them. Eventually, everyone is served, yourselves included, grabbing up which little bits you'd like to eat.
Except for me,
And
in the cart sleeping.
no, you don't. We don't wake up naturally.
I'll go wake her up.
I do, and I stay in there.
I'll go
Okay.
get Clover. Just sort of like knock on the wood of the carriage. Clover, are you up? Food's ready. If you wanted to come join us.
I'm not very hungry. I'm just gonna stay in here for a little bit.
Is you okay? Did you want to talk about something?
No.
Or are you just not feeling very social right now?
Just not feeling very social right now.
Okay. Well, if you want any company at all, you just let me know, okay? I just, you know, it's hard for me to sort of grasp people that, I don't know, dinner's always been like a very social thing for me, so.
I don't really have an appetite.
Well, you don't have to eat.
I'm okay. Let me know what I need.
Do you want me to grab you some tea or something?
No.
Okay. Well, if you need anything, just give me a holler, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And then I'll head back.
Roll a perception check for me, Finnick.
Perception?
Yep.
Oh god, hold up, I gotta pull up.
An entire army of squirrels are watching you.
God, those damn squirrels. That's a 16.
Okay. Quick. Okay.
Okay.
Never mind. All right. So you make your way back towards the rest of the. You make your way back towards the rest of the druids in the grove, and begin to eat with the rest of them. Eventually, you see Alondra being the last one to kind of gather a portion of food, and after a few moments pass, she finishes it up and begins to make her way over towards the rest of you. Well, I appreciate everything you've done for us. Fists of fate, I truly don't know if we would have survived much longer without all of you, based off the things you've told us.
Probably not. 2, it wouldn't have just been you.
No,
That was
that's
spreading.
true.
That was going to grow and get worse and worse and worse.
Well, we are fortunate that the winds brought you to us.
We are fortunate that Bramble brought us to you. And
Yes,
I'm just going to give him a playful punch in the arm.
He is not around you. You don't see him at all.
I was just about to ask where he is.
None of you have any idea where he is. Um,
Damn it.
Maybe he's just taking a stroll?
I haven't seen him for a bit. I'm not quite sure. I'm sorry.
Makes it so hard to make things right when they're not here to make it right with. Okay.
That being said, I believe we have things to discuss.
Yeah.
So I know you know at least some of the information about the primordials, the ancient gods of this world. That being stated, the blade your friend carries is a portion of one of their powers. It was taken directly from one of the primordials. I feel like that's not the best way to word that. There are the six strongest of the primordials are the base versions of them. Obviously, any two can mix, and there are sub primordials, elementals, if you will. But during the war between the gods and the primordials, there were the original six, which were the strongest of them all. And that is where your friend's blade comes from.
Now, a friend, an acquaintance of mine, called it the Nox Blade.
Yes, that is its name.
Said it came from the primordial of death.
Yes.
Does any person who carries a blade like this experience something like this?
There is a battle that will take place in each of their souls. As each of these blades is pulled directly from one of the primordials. It is when Moradin forged them, he essentially forged it out of their soul. So it is a battle to ensure you are not taken over by it. If your will is not strong enough, then you can fall to its power.
I don't know. Sema and Reyna seem to be kind of symbiotic with it.
Well, if they forged a pact with the primordials that it's from, there's not much of a conflict there to be had. Their ideals align, at least for the moment. Your friend is fighting against the entity inside of it, at least its ideals and its goals, so now it is fighting for her body.
But I mean, I know this has nothing to do with the primordials, but like I have a blade, and it seems like it's trying to fight for control. Do you think that could happen to me? I don't know if it's as powerful as a primordial, but
May I see the blade? I don't know the blade you speak of.
sure. And I'll hand her the Tal'Dorei blade.
Please lay it on the ground. She kind of like motions towards it and doesn't reach out to touch it at all.
Okay. I lay it on the ground.
Raises up her hand, kind of hovers above the sword. You see her eyes begin to glow as she casts Identify on the blade. I'm sorry, but this blade is not what you think it is. She is going to reach out a hand and touch you, and she's going to cast Enhance Ability.
Oh.
Give me 1 second. It's going to be for Wisdom, so it's going to enhance your Perception check and your Investigation check. Go ahead and roll a Investigation check on the blade again.
Okay. Oh. Okay. So just add my regular modifier?
Yes, you rolled an advantage, right?
No, I did not. I will take the 22.
Oh, yeah.
2.
22?
Yes. For
Okay.
investigation.
As you kind of look at the blade now, I can't find the things on it because I'm not in the right spot. As you look at the blade now with this little more in depth and based off what she's telling you, you see the blade you've seen and you've been looking at this entire time. It's this thin illusion that wraps around this pockmarked, acid-burned blade underneath. And you see acid bubbling out and dripping down the blade.
Oh, God.
You've just been carrying that on you?
I guess I've never seen past the illusion before. Oh. That's, interesting.
I don't know what this blade has told you it is, but it's certainly not your friend. It seeks to control you.
Okay. It hasn't succeeded yet.
Your luck, unfortunately, will not last forever, I would say.
I didn't mean to bring the topic, or bring the conversation off topic. So basically, Whisper is going through something 10 times worse than what this blade has tried to do.
Well, this blade only seeks to control your mind. That blade is trying to control her soul, unfortunately.
So 100 times worse. Got it.
You said in the forest that Gathak was confused as to why you would fight against him.
Yeah.
Well, the primordials are embodiments of chaos and absolute freedom. So, any rules that would seek to bind them or anyone is sacrilegious to them, to say the least. I gather that's their goal for the moment. They seem to have found vessels, at least according to your other friends or acquaintances, rather, that they are able to try and help them remove some of the shackles that have been binding them for these last few millennia.
Yeah, Sammy was turning into like living rock, whereas Reyna was basically made of fire at this point.
Well, if that's the case, then they truly have made pacts with the creatures.
They said that they wanted to release the primordials. They said that was a goal of theirs.
Well, as I've said, there are the 6 primary entities, and then there are several offshoots, mixtures of 2 or more, or aspects of one of the prime ones that expresses itself in a unique way. Those will be easier to raise. The 6 prime will take time.
So
Some have had their heartstones removed, some have been separated into pieces. Those will need to be regathered, and then the sword help reignite their souls.
Is that what that pillow was? Was that a hot stone?
No, these are just conduits between the realm. The the stone that bound Thordak was a heartstone of the fire primordial.
Didn't we see that in what's his face's room? Back in Westruun?
whose room?
The one who had hired the myriad, who had that, who was building that army of metal people.
Oh,
Right, the one who hired us to investigate his own thing. He had a big hot stone looking thing on his desk, didn't he?
fact check, DM.
It was the something miracles, the miracle people,
Yeah.
League of Miracles. Yeah.
League of Miracles, and yes, you saw a piece of Thordak's heartstone on his desk.
Shit.
Uh-huh. And that's sealed who?
That is part of the fire elemental.
Double shit.
Hey, just saying, I take really good notes.
The Earth Heartstone was forged into the Titan Stone knuckles that Grog now carries.
Did
Mm.
carry.
We
Several-
don't know if
There was an attack on Whitestone in to attempt to get the Titan Stone knuckles, and the last news I heard was not good.
Well, if they have the Earth Blade and the Heartstone, then there's little that can stop them now from at least raising the Earth Titan back. And thanks to the attack on Vasselheim, his corpse is well known as to where it lies.
What can we do to stop it? how can we get better, or what can we do or utilize to stop this? Anything? Can we do anything?
Well, gather those close to your cause. Ready yourselves. Are you sure this is what you even want? There's a lot of confusion amongst your faces. You have rage. She looks towards you, Tristan. You have indecision. You see her look towards you, Finnick. And a lack of will. She looks towards you, Garmrog. Questioning almost that last statement.
It's not a lack of will.
What is it then?
Spent a very long time telling myself violence was not the answer.
Violence is natural, Garmrog.
It was a way of life to not hurt anyone or anything, and the last few months I've hurt more people than I've ever hurt in my entire life. And I need to now hurt more in order to stop a titan from destroying everything and everyone I love. And I'm a little conflicted about that. Personal philosophy is about to go out the window for good. Forgive me if I'm a little slow to come to terms with that.
We all have choices to make, Gormrog. You have to decide what it is exactly you want. You can choose to not fight.
Yeah.
Someone else may pick up the cause for you. But
Doesn't matter.
whether they win or lose, that will be on your conscience. Violence is natural. It is the natural order of the world. There's not a day, nigh a second that goes by where violence is not happening.
I just feel like a lot of things could be dealt with by talking if people just actually had a conversation.
That
Doesn't
may
happen
be
often.
true. But you also need to be willing to wield the sword as much as the pen.
Wield the sword. What are the 6 elements?
They divide into 2 different camps. There is fire, earth, and death. And then there is water, air, and life. I'm surprised these 2, Sammy, I think you said their name was. I'm surprised they have not pushed more for the Death Blade, because when those 3 are brought together, they are more powerful, having able to be combined into the Omega Blade, which will far surpass the 3 pieces. Same goes for the other 3. They are able to unite into one. And then the 6, when brought together, are far more stronger. But as I'm sure you aware that that is how the Guardian was able to maintain balance and protect himself from those who sought the blades before.
And there are only blades from those 6? I know you mentioned the
Yes.
sub-primordials. I didn't know if there was a possibility that they would have.
Moradin forged those blades specifically from those 6 primordials. The others may have themselves separated a piece of their self to form some sort of vestige or weapon for their subordinates or followers, but they are by no means as strong as these 6.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember, Finnick, but you had a vision about where they all were.
Yeah.
You said one was in a desert, one was on a boat.
As you look that up, Finnick, Clover, as you sit waiting, trying to gather your thoughts, you eventually hear a small knock. You hear footsteps with your insanely high passive perception. You hear footsteps approach, and then a small knock next to you.
Okay. I was doing other stuff, but we can get to that later.
Okay.
Who is it?
Clover, it is I, Bramble, Thorn Whisper.
Oh.
Was wondering if I may have a moment.
Haven't really been in the mood to talk. What's it about?
I just have something I'd like to give you, and if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, give me a second. I'll be right out. As he gives me a second, I will put what I was doing back in my backpack for the most part and step out.
That is the most suspicious way to say that. Like, what were you doing?
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Nothing much, but I do like a little drama.
No way. As you step out, you see Bramble standing there. Still looking a little beat up, a little rough. But you see him kind of have this small bag kind of held to his side. I just wanted to say thank you for believing in me and trusting me in odds of your friends. I wanted to say it meant a lot, and I do hope that now that we have completed this adventure, that you are happy to go on adventures of your own. And I just wanted to give you a little thank you gift, just as a token of my appreciation. Kind of raises the satchel out towards you.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna send my mage hand to go get it.
Okay. Kind of floats over towards you. You eventually open the. Do you open it now or no?
Yeah, sure. My mage hand will open it for me.
Okay. As you open it, you notice a book inside. Beautiful, intricately decorated with little flowers out of gold filigree. You notice a little like carrot Easter egg in the corner, just barely visible. And as you open up the the cover, you see there written in script across the front, just says "Write your own story," and I can't wait to hear about all your adventures, Clover.
I wouldn't have had any if I didn't read yours.
Well, that being said, I believe it is time for me to move on.
Just like that?
There's always another story to write.
Well, hopefully, I'll see you out there again.
I'm sure you will. Kind of
It was-
lowers down. I mean, a
it
slight bow towards you.
Nice to meet you.
The pleasure was all mine, Clover.
I'm gonna go give him a hug.
As you kind of run up and give him a hug. Arms kind of hold out for a second, like a little trepidatiously before he eventually kind of wraps her arm around you because he has a small pat on your upper back. I hope to read your stories soon, Clover.
You will. I've been writing.
Can't wait. With that, he begins to make his way off into the darkness.
Guided by a beating heart.
All right, I'm gonna watch him disappear, and as he does, I'm just gonna go back and sit down. And I genuinely wasn't doing much. I was sharpening all of my weapons, and then I was activating a few of my crossbows with poison and wrapping them in a separate cloth to keep them from touching the others. I'm not gonna do that because poison disappears after a minute. I'm just gonna make sure that my poison is connected to the crossbow so that I don't have an encounter like I did last time where I wasn't fast enough. I'm glad I caught that. But yeah, I'm just sharpening all of my weapons. I'm prepping all of my weapons. I don't think that whatever we're doing, we're done with yet. Yeah. That's it.
Before that happened, did when Bramble came through, was he visible to any of us, or was that just a okay?
Was that
We're inside a building. He's outside by the cart.
was
Yeah,
that-
I'm sitting alone in the cart being my, little emo rabbit.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Was that the perception check I made to see if I saw him?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
All right. That being said, back to you, Finnick, as you try to recall the locations of the Titans.
Yeah, because one was in a desert, one was on a ship, and the other one was in Vasselheim.
Where did you gather this insight from?
I cannot remember. DM, somebody help.
When you dived into
Oh,
Rainer's
Rainer's
mind.
mind. Yeah, when I delved into Rainer's mind, the one who wields the fire blade. So,
Oh, he came across the information is a question for another day, I suppose. What is
We
it
got it
you
from the
all wish
sword.
to do?
We gotta stop him.
yeah.
It's not about wishing. It's there's too many lives at risk. There's too many people who are gonna get hurt. It's not a choice. We have to stop them. The question is not what are we gonna do? It's how are we gonna do it? Now, do we go after these other three swords and try to use them? Or do we break them? Destroy them somehow in a way that stops those titans from ever being able to come through?
Well,
Well, I fear if they were able to be destroyed, then that is something that would have been done millennia ago. Though, I'm sure there's methods that may have been developed or that might make it possible now, though I'm unaware of any.
Well, they had a guardian before, didn't they?
Yes, the last Guardian failed his mission less than 20 years ago and set this all in motion.
But how long was he a guardian for?
Not 5 years before he gathered the blades together from the previous, and eventually he lost his battle with the spirits inside before he was defeated.
So that's the reason he lost, was the spirits inside?
They eventually were able to cause enough of a disturbance in his soul that he was able to be defeated in battle. The blades shattered and spread across the globe.
Okay. Finnick, how are you feeling?
I mean, in what regards?
There are some messages we need to get out.
I have very little energy. I don't even think I could send a single message. But I could in the morning, right away.
We need to check in with what's going on with your friend in Vasselheim. With the Titanstone Knuckles.
Well, because the Titanstone Knuckles were in Whitestone, correct?
Yeah, but then they were going to head to Vasselheim.
Right.
But that's apparently where one of the other swords is. In addition to, the big guy.
Yeah.
We need to know if they're okay. Because they said they would reach back out to you and they didn't.
Well, because the person I reached out to is Citron. I know he was on his way to Vasselheim. I just don't know how far out he was. But
so we need to check in with Citron. We need to check in with Pike. I think we should also check in with Lyndon.
Oh, I should have grabbed Clover for this conversation. She wasn't in a very social mood, so I respected her boundaries, but I feel like we need her input on this too.
It's a very good idea.
You know what, I'll be right back. And I'm gonna go try to find Clover. Assuming she's still in the carriage.
There is a part of me that wants to be difficult, but fine, I will be in the carriage.
Or, I could just cast detect thoughts and try and find you that way, but again, respecting
You get to the
boundaries.
carriage and all you find is a stuffed rabbit set in front of the door, at which point you pick it up and it sets off traps and a million poison crossbow arrows.
You come back into the carriage and you see me just sitting there flipping through the pages of my new notebook.
Clover.
Hey.
Is that a new notebook?
Yeah, it's custom made for me by Bramble. Look at it. It's beautiful.
Oh, that is gorgeous. Did he leave?
Yeah, he had to move on to his next adventure.
You know, fair enough.
He never stopped.
Do you think that ever gets tiring?
It would for me.
Well, speaking of adventures, I was hoping to get your opinion on a few things because we're trying to figure out what to do about the whole Sammy and Rainer situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll fill her in on what we know so far.
Yeah, this whole time I've just kind of been going along with whatever you guys choose. I don't have a lot of thoughts on it. That's way bigger than me, but I'm willing to keep moving forward with you guys.
Is this something?
Whatever it costs.
And you would be okay doing this?
Yeah.
Because trust me, I am terrified at all the possibilities of what could happen. But
I mean, if I don't come along with you, I don't know who's going to keep people's eyes out.
well, you know I can always provide you cover, and you always know how to make me smile, so I feel like we could definitely benefit having each other around.
But yeah, I mean, I know that there's things that I want to do that aren't that, but I also want to do that.
And, well, believe me, we'll have to make a few pit stops on the way, but we can make a list of things you want to do and see where the road takes us. Did you want to come back with me to the yurt, or did you still want some alone time?
Is there anything I guess I can come with you.
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure that we got your input and, took your thoughts into account. Because it's never really a group decision without everybody there.
That's true. Yeah, so I'll walk along back there with Finnick. I'm gonna hold my new little journal against my chest. Protective light.
I love it. And we head back to the yurt.
Okay. Entering back in, it's much the way you left it. You see her quietly checking on Whisper in this moment. Kind of, you see Whisper's skin is kind of much paler than it was at the start of the day, and you see these beads of sweat kind of forming on her forehead, and you see Alondra kind of pats them off.
Have you given her?
Say that one more time.
Have you given her any water?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
So we have 3 swords that we have a vague idea of where they are. We have 3 swords that we know where they are.
Yeah.
The people who have the fire and earth blades potentially killed one of the strongest people we know. And they're going to resurrect the Titan in Vasselheim. That feels so far beyond us, but like, if we had guidance, if we had some idea of how to go about stopping this.
We should talk to Maria Lynn.
Yeah. If anybody knows people, it's Marie Lynn and Rosalind.
Every time we've been lost, the one time we were lost, she grounded us. I think we're all lost. I think we need to be grounded again. I think she might be the best person. I am not sure. I don't know.
Well,
But I do know the last time I thought that we had nothing. We found something there and we can't lose her.
well,
I do want to check in with Lyndon and maybe Clova's sister. How far are we from Stillben? Humboldt County?
He lives in
I think
Zephyr.
it's like a week and a half to 2 weeks away on foot.
Aster lives in Zephyr.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Zephyr's about a week away too.
Zephyr, I believe, is much closer.
It's a little bit closer to Western than Stillben. It's like right in between.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to stop there or have her meet us in the middle.
is Lyndon still in Western, or did he take a vacay somewhere?
As far as I remember, Lyndon left Western to go back home to Humboldt County. Humboldt. Yeah.
Because if we're able, because the one guy has the Heartstone, I feel like it's possible that Samia Rayner might be headed there as well. If they need that for the fire blade.
Yep. And I'm not entirely convinced that his metal men are going to be
Just
leading us.
sorry, just so you know, from where you guys are currently, Zephyr is directly south.
Yeah.
That hits the summit peaks, and then if you continue south, you'll hit Stillben. You will pass Western on the way, but that is to the west, out of your way.
We were going back to Stillben is out of the way. Well, if we're
Western would be out of the way.
we were going to Western anyway. That's where we were headed when we took this segue.
Yeah.
That's not the right word, but I can't think of the right word right now.
Words are it's been a
Detour?
long day.
Detour. That's what I was thinking of.
We also
Thank you,
have
buddy.
the ability to send you anywhere you'd like in the world, if that is of any help.
That would definitely help.
It might.
At least give you some leg up on your enemies.
Yeah.
How familiar are you with the Druids of Zephyr?
We have met.
On amicable terms?
Yes, of course. We're not enemies by any means, but they do their thing and we do ours.
Well, the leader in Zephyr, the voice of the Tempest, he may be involved in the resistance against what's happening. Right? It was her friend who held the Titanstone knuckles. So, you may have better means of communicating with them than we do.
Well, I can certainly send Lady Keyleth a message if that's what you're asking.
May be of use.
also would have to wait until morning if you wanted me to do it.
I'm just trying to think of our assets and who would be where. But I think I'm pretty sure Whisper is done with her family up north. I don't think she wants to go back. I don't think she wants to reach out for them to help in any way. The clerics, I don't know if I want to reach out to them either. Those are the only ones I could think of that was aiding us up there. But I would say an army of dragon riders may be of use against the Titan. But I don't know if they're still rebuilding. The
people of the
Platinum Dragon's Rest, the clerics that were helping Tristan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna help us either.
They're a bunch of old lizards. They can't help us here.
The
High Lady, the governess, the Lady of Westren.
the Goliath woman. Yeah. She the governor.
In charge of an entire Westren.
Yeah. The mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's potentially an ally.
He is an
What
ally.
about Golash? He's got a network of information.
Any information?
I don't know how far that goes.
Well, if I know anything about people who do work under the table, they have ways of getting information. Networking.
Yeah. I don't know how much help he'll be in a fight, but information beforehand may be of use. The Cobalt Reserve, definitely.
Did you guys
I don't
want to go to Zephyra to talk to Keyleth and Aster since we're so close?
I think it may be beneficial, especially since Linus's map had some goings on around there too.
So maybe you can message Keyleth or Aster just to let them know that we're coming.
Not without Whisper.
Yeah, we need to.
Oh, Whisper's just resting. She'll be fine.
Yeah, once she's up and has a full stomach, I'm sure she'll be ready to go. But because I've met Aster, I could definitely send her a message. If you'd like me to. You'd have to wait until morning, but...
Oh yeah, I was talking to the person who can send the message.
Okay. I guess I don't know if you've ever met Aster.
But you can...
More than capable of sending a message to Keyleth if you like.
That may be beneficial too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah.
Well, I can send that message now if that's something you'd like to do in the time we have.
We can't really let them know we're coming because we don't know when Whisper's gonna wake up, but...
Well, I can send you in the morning, and then when your friend does arise, I'll send them to meet you.
I don't think we want to leave her behind.
No. I promise you she's in safe hands here.
It's great.
Yeah, but we don't know how long it's going to take for her to wake up. I don't want to go a whole week without seeing her.
We've been separated once. I'm not looking to do that again. Especially not after she's been knocked unconscious and then leave without a word to wake up alone like that.
I mean, perhaps you could call Keyleth to come to us.
Oh, what would you like me to say to her?
We have information on the Titans, on the Primordials, and putting heads together may be our best way to deal with it.
So, I will tell her that I will be sending some who have gathered information about the current situation then?
You can name us the Fist of Fate. We've met before.
Okay.
She'll know who we are.
So, I'm just telling Lady Keyleth that the Fists of Fate will be arriving in Zephyra the next few days.
I don't think that's what I just said. I asked if Keyleth could come to us.
Oh.
Yeah.
And asked her.
Okay.
Keyleth and Esther maybe come to us here.
And if they
And
can't,
then
that's fine. But, it's worth a shot.
Very well. I will
say we are looking to put our heads together.
Very well.
Gather allies.
Give me a moment then. You see her begin to cast the very familiar spell in front of all of you. Lady Keyleth, requesting yours and Asta's presence at the Dawn Warden Circle. The Fists of Fate have information regarding the recent incursions from the primordial realms and would like to chat. You can see her sit for a moment. You get the sense of messages coming in as your face begins to react to words unheard.
Which means she's still alive.
Well, Lady Keyleth is unable to leave Zephyr at the moment. Apparently she's dealing with the rift there and is doing all she can to try and keep it from expanding. She said she can send this Asta to meet up with all of us here if that's what you'd like. She said she'll send them in the next short while, so they'll be arriving sometime tonight.
If you can spare the mages who helped us close the other rift, I'm sure Lady Keyleth would be most appreciative.
Zephyr has far more druids than we have here. I fear an additional 3 would do little to help turn the tide in that regards.
You see how many of us there are?
5?
And look what we did here. Have faith in your people. 3 can make a big difference.
Very well. I will exchange this Aster for 3 of ours come the morning. That being stated, where do you all see yourselves moving from here? Would you prefer I send you somewhere, or I can send you to almost any of the locations you stated?
Depending on the messages we get out in the morning, we'll probably be going to Zephyra, Westrune, or Vasselheim, and I'm going to look to the others on that last one.
I think Vasselheim's our first stop, but yeah, all 3 of those.
You said you do or you don't think Vasselheim's the first stop?
I don't.
Okay.
Didn't we just say that we needed to prepare more before going there?
I agree. You had just cut out. I hadn't heard you. I apologize. Just asking for clarification, not to question you. The
How far
The-
is Whitestone from Western?
Whitestone is north of your location here, so it's the complete opposite direction of Western.
Okay, I'm just asking the travel distance between those two.
It's about double the length than from Western, so
So we have time. Just trying to piece
it
together
is
the timeline.
probably about 200 miles away.
this distance, we're asking for time.
Probably about a week. Whereas you're looking at like 3-4 days to get to Western.
Unless they zap us there.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, they could zap us to Western, and then we could just walk back here since it's closer, and then they can zap us again to Whitestone. And save us a week.
You know, there is a house in Westrun that is now should be 2 stories tall, with plenty of guest rooms upstairs, and some lovely trees and animal hens in the back.
Okay, what about it?
I'm telling the druids, this is a home, but I know I've seen people walk through trees before. Do you need to know the tree in order to walk through it?
Yes, unfortunately, I would need to see the tree that you're speaking of. I'm more than happy to transport you to a location by Westford that I'm familiar with, but to actually go to your residence there, I'm unfortunately not familiar with at this time.
I have a question.
Okay.
Cece talking. Could I use detect thoughts on myself to share them with someone else?
No.
No?
No.
Fuck.
Are you able to connect telepathically with people?
Yeah. But I don't know if I'm able to share images.
You have. Well, I think it specifically says words in this description of that spell, first off. Do you have minor illusion?
Surprisingly, no.
Oh.
Um.
I'm sure there are ways we can familiarize you with in the coming days. But
Clover, do you know minor illusion?
Do not.
Maybe if we level up, I will learn.
Oh, guys, wait, hold on a second. Hold on, can you just a second?
Holding.
Stand by.
Sorry, guys. Oh, it's a cantrip. No, I don't. I did just realize though that I never took a spell at my last level up though, and I do get another one. But no, I don't have minor illusion.
Go ahead and fix whatever needs to be fixed on your character sheet right now, while it's fresh in your mind.
I mean, I'm gonna do it. I can't do it right now while we're playing.
Okay. All right. Is there anything you all wanted to do for the evening?
Tristan's going to just spend his time around the hut, not inside, but where Whisper is relaxing, and that's where he's gonna lay down outside the hut.
We're going to go back to where we set up camp previously, and I'm going to pick up all of Tristan's like bedroll, blanket, etc., and I'm going to bring it to him, and I'm going to lay the blanket over him, and put the bedroll and pillow next to him for when he decides he's going to get comfortable instead of just laying on the ground. But he's going to have a blanket at the very least, and then I'm going to go back to the camp and crash myself.
All right. What about the rest of you?
I'm gonna start writing my story for a little bit, and then I'm also gonna go to sleep.
I am going to sit next to Whisper for a little while. Just sort of pondering the options ahead of us before I eventually find a place to go lie down.
Okay. All right. With that being said, we're going to move ahead to the next day. So, as the next day arises, eventually you all gather yourselves together. What's the plan? You know, send your messages now.
Yeah, might as well get them out of the way in the morning. So, remind me, I'm sending one to Citron.
Citron and Pike.
Pike.
And maybe
Should I warn
Golash
the mayor?
or somebody in Westrun, the mayor. Yeah.
Okay. Trying to think.
I don't know how many you can send.
I can send 3. Or, I guess I could send 4, but I would be using up a little more energy. But
Do what feels right. Don't overdo it.
I'll be okay. Trying to think. When I send the message to Citron, I'm looking for an update on his location, Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what I need to say. It's all a little overwhelming.
Like the message that Elandra had sent to the Voice of the Tempest, Lady Keyleth. You could just say that we have information and we want to put our heads together, and we're seeking what information they have.
Okay.
And any update on Vox, what's the faces, and
Machina? Vox Machina?
Sure. And then Sammy and Raina.
Okay. So I will begin to cast Sending to Citron.
Okay.
Also, it says he recognizes me as the sender, so I'm not going to even introduce myself. Okay. We have found more information regarding the primordial situation. We are looking to share it and combine ideas. Please provide any updates when you're able.
A few moments
Nicely done.
pass before you receive a reply. Defenses around Primordial improved as per information. When ready, meet us in Vasselheim. We will liaison and prepare for expanded operations.
Okay. I'm going to relay that information to the rest of the group. Next.
I don't know what some of those words mean, but meet us in Vasselheim is pretty clear.
And we'll have a meeting about what we're going to do next.
Sounds good.
Next message will be to Pike. As I sort of get ready to send this message, I'm sort of shaking a little bit and definitely looking a bit nervous and anxious.
Before you cast that, breathe. We're doing this to figure out what's going on. The not knowing is the scariest part. You're not alone. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I begin to concentrate. Have to put the fingers up or I'm gonna lose count. Finnick says that, by the way.
I was gonna offer to hold your hand, but then I realized you needed to count, so I didn't.
I mean, if you want to, I won't say no.
I'll take your hand and offer up mine other hand to help you count.
Good morning. We have received more information regarding the attack and primordial situation. We are looking to meet and combine ideas. Please provide updates when able.
I'm just gonna squeeze her hand a little bit tighter.
I return the squeeze. And it's definitely probably a tighter grip than you were anticipating. Just with the nerves.
Ow, 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 ow.
Does he have any message?
That was me sending a message to Pike.
Okay. A few minutes later, you feel Pike's presence kind of press into your mind. Rug's still dead. Percy's hurt. Vex was in Amon. Percy wants to meet up with all of you regarding the situation. Tell us where to meet you.
Grandma, so, they would like to meet with us to discuss the situation. Do we want to have them meet us in Vasselheim with Citron, or with the Tempest?
I think if Citron's already preparing defenses, and we're going to be going there anyway, that is something to relay to them and say we can meet them there.
Okay.
But obviously we have stops to make on the way and people to talk to first. So you can say we're meeting with Keyleth, or no, we're meeting with Aster. And then we're going to Westroom. They can meet us there, or at Vasselheim shortly after.
Okay. And I will cast sending again back to Pike. We plan on talking to Keyleth, and I sort of look at the rest of you for approval, like, yes, that's correct.
East enough.
Then
Going
we
to Westroom.
are headed to Western, and then Vasselheim. We can provide updates as we go and upon arrival. Do I have more words or no?
I don't think so.
That would have been funny if I just wasted my last words on that.
Do
Hello,
I
Jesser.
have more words?
Very well. We'll meet you in Western. Percy wants to do all he can to help. Has a gift for you. See you in Western.
You pooping?
You poopy? You poopy?
So that was what, 3?
That was 3. But I'll look at the rest of them and say, Pike and Percy and maybe a couple others. Well, maybe a couple others will meet us in Western. But I plan on providing updates. But if you need, I can cast another
I don't know if it's a need, but at least giving the mayor of Westrun a heads up.
Yeah, I can do that. And so I'll convert my 5 sorcery points into another 3rd level spell slot. To contact the mayor.
Mayor.
The mayor.
Lord Mayor Lysandra Kalos.
That's the
That's
one.
it.
Am I looking to warn them of the attack? Looking for allies? What am I doing? Both?
What is the settlement we're near?
Turst Fields?
Yeah. Near Turst Fields, headed to Westrun. Meeting Vox Machina. Titans are a problem.
Should I request that the mayor join us in our meeting with Vox Machina?
Any help appreciated.
Okay.
Okay, like cut it down to 3 words if you can, just to make it longer.
Just, we need help. No.
Help me.
Help. Please. Okay. In Turst
Turst
Fields,
Fields.
headed to Westrun. Need meeting with you and Vox regarding Titan situation and possible attacks on city.
You got 5 more.
I got 5 more? Awesome.
Yep.
Any and all help appreciated.
You hear that professional voice begin to ring into your head of the Lord Mayor. Spellwright Hystix has deployed automatons in city. Our defenses are secure. Unsure of Titan's situation, willing to meet with you and Vox Machina. See you soon.
Don't trust that bitch. Oh god, okay. That I will relay every word to the message. Well, it looks like he's already deployed the automatons.
And she doesn't know about the Titan situation.
No.
That could be good and that could be bad.
We just can't have him in on the meeting. I feel like I don't know if he's on our side or not.
Oh, he's definitely not. The only side he's on is his.
Any side that has money. Power.
Power. But I also don't want him there because the Heart of Thordak is in his office.
But if
Whether he knows it or not,
but if he's there,
he's a part of this. If he's there, we can't mention it. But like,
no, if he's there, someone can do recon on the office.
oh,
I don't know how dangerous that would be.
Probably very.
but it's an option.
He was testing on monsters and creating these automatons of his. I don't want to know what would happen if we go snooping around the office and, you know, it's surrounded by these things. So like, whoever we send could be going to their death. But like, that's another story.
Sammy and Rainer.
Then they get the heart. But we got a lot of planning to do.
Yeah.
We can talk more about it when we reconvene with everybody.
And with that, that is where we're going to call it for the night.
Golly.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight on tonight's episode of Forging Fates. You can catch us back here next week for another episode of Forging Fates. And I think that's all we got.
Yes, because next week we are taking a quick break from QPD because I get surgery on Tuesday. So
We will have spell shots next week. So we have Forging Fates and spell shots the following day.
Spell Shots is back after their winter break. Okay, that all being said, stick around because we're going to raid someone after we get off, after we go to our screen, our goodbye screen. So stick around for the raid, and I hope you all have a good night. Love you, geeks.